Hey everyone, it's Ivy. So the challenge was create a raw vegan pasta that you don't have to cook, that's not made from vegetables, or mostly, but I have made a pasta dough. Alright, and so I'll give you a quick view of what it looks like. That's it. Alright, looks like regular pasta dough, rolled out, right? Okay, now I've tasted it. Tastes really good. Doesn't taste pasty, doesn't taste crumbly. It has just the right amount of bite. It's almost perfect. Alright, so the ingredients in this pasta dough are very simple. They are 1.5 teaspoons of glucomannan powder. Right there. Glucomannan powder. It's organic, it's 100%, and if you don't know what glucomannan powder is, it's a powder made from the konjac root. So yes, a root powder, and it's gluten-free, so no worries, people. Anyways, so 1.5 teaspoons of glucomannan powder, 2 tablespoons of Bob's Red Mill 100% whole grain soy flour. And as you all know, it has a funny taste and smell once it gets wet. So you got to do something about that, but we'll get to that. So then, to take the bitterness from the soy flour out, I added a drop of raw agave nectar. Now, I only used like 1/2 of a teaspoon of this because you don't really want sweet pasta. Then I used some all natural sea salt. I only used 1/8 of a teaspoon of sea salt because you want that little bit of saltiness, like it's been cooked in salt water, but you don't want it to be over salty. So I didn't put very much. I used 4 to 5 tablespoons of spring water. My tap water is not the best, so I use spring water. And you just keep massaging it, and it's going to get all gooey, and it's going to become like a blobby mess. Just take a fork to it and get all the chunks out, get it all combined as well as possible. Then, once it starts to form a thicker gel, that's when you can add either a teaspoon of onion powder or granulated onion powder or granulated garlic powder. I didn't do that because I didn't have any on hand, so I get organic garlic in water. So I used a tablespoon of the water from the minced garlic that I get, and that gave it a really nice flavor. It took away from the soy flavor, which is great. Then you mix it all together, and you put out a piece of parchment paper, and you spray it down with a little bit of oil, because the stuff will stick. Once you get it to a nice doughy consistency, of course, you would want to make sure there's no lumps or chunks or whatever in it. And you're going to have to massage it and like knead it for a while until it reaches that dough-like consistency. And the end result is a dough that looks like that. Alright, so the lighting's not very good in here, but it looks exactly like cooked pasta. Now, I also made a filling after I rolled it out, and I roll it out as thin as possible, and you have to use the palm of your hands or you have to use an oiled rolling pin. If you use anything else, you take a chance of like spreading it too much or ripping the edges, and you just kind of want it to be smooth as possible and as thin as possible, which is pasta-like. So with this, I'm going to make a tomato, pine nut, and basil filling, and it's going to be little raviolis. I'll probably make 2 of them because that's not very much dough. Maybe I'll make 4. I don't know. Depends on if I want to do little ones or big ones. So, but I'm at the point where I'm going to cut the dough, so I have to get my knife over here, and I'm just going to cut the dough in half, right down the center. Alright. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to open up my filling, which I blended up in my little Bella blender. And I'm going to, I think I'll make 4. Ooh, that smells really good. Okay. I'm going to take a tiny little spoon and put my filling. Probably make 4 little piles. Yeah, I'll probably do 4. So I'm making 4 little piles here with the filling. And I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. And I don't want it to be on the edge at all. I just kind of want it to be where it's supposed to be. Okay. So that's what it looks like with the filling in them. See, the 4 little pods. Now I'm going to take the dough on the other side very carefully, trying not to tear it. I might have to get a spatula to do this. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get a spatula. So I'm going to go get a spatula to make that a little bit easier to turn. And I think I'm going to have my husband hold this for a second. Chris, could you please come here? If he can hear me. Chris! Baby, I need you. Mr. Alves! I need you for a second. Alright, so I'm going to move some of this stuff back so you guys can get a better view. I'm going to need you to hold this so that way they can see what I'm doing with the, with the stuff. Okay, so I just need you to hold it so it's right here. Aimed right there. Don't even wiggle it or jiggle it or nothing, alright? Okay. So I'm going to be using a spatula to get this up off of the paper because it's very sticky. And then once I can manage to get it up off of the paper, one foul swoop like that, maybe it'll, there we go. So it stays in one big form like that. I'm just going to put it right over the top, over here. I'm going to press down with the back of the knife between the bulges, if I can figure out where they are here. And you guys just heard my son getting up in the background. He's supposed to be in bed. I'm just going to kind of make these look kind of like little raviolis here. Cutting off the excess. And look at that. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of discard the excess. And I'm going to go get a fork so I can seal the edges of this right quick. Alright, so this is the fork I mixed everything with. I'm just going to push the edges down so they kind of gather together as best as possible. And it doesn't seem to want to stick. I think I put too much filling. But I guess you could probably just make like lasagna noodles with it and make a layer. See, it comes out like that. Let's move it over this way a little bit so it's on a little bit in line of light. Alright, so if you look at it, you can roll it out really thin. It's just really sticky. Oh, here we go. I'll just have my husband try a little piece. He's not raw vegan or vegan, so we'll see what he thinks of it. And he just put it in his mouth.
Yeah.
Does it taste like pasta?
It actually does.
And even though it's not made with flour or egg, does it taste like cooked pasta? No, it doesn't taste like cooked pasta.
I can't place the taste.
Well, it's not regular pasta, it's raw vegan pasta, so it tastes different to you.
It's not bad though.
But you heard it from him, and he's not a vegan. All right, bye guys.